Hello, welcome to the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series for round number 3 at Magny-Cours here today. It's a new circuit on the calendar, new circuit in iRacing, and an all-new challenge for the drivers of the IMSA series. 3 classes, of course, this season at round 3. It's going to be interesting to see how they get through the chicanes. I don't think there's quite as many as there 3. No, I don't think there's 3. Unless you count turn 2, but I wouldn't really count that as a chicane. Actually, there is 3. Look at that. There's a chicane at the end of the lap. I think there's 3 chicanes. I'm just losing. No, there's 3. There's 3 chicanes here. There's a lot of 3s. It's round number 3 of the IMSA series. I'm joined by. I was going to call you George for a second because I see he's in the stewarding room, but it's Gerard. Yeah, I just absolutely looked at the stewarding room and was about to be like, it's George. It's not. George is going to be telling the drivers off if they do anything wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about the chicanes, obviously we were both sat in a room with some of the guys practicing. They were complaining about these chicanes. You know, they're causing issues. A couple of nasty sausage curbs, apparently.
Yeah, chicane after chicane. Yeah, there does look like there's been some during practice. There was some side-by-side racing in the LMP2s, which I found very exciting through the chicanes. Neither one of them wanted to back up, but I can say the speeds the cars take through the chicanes is massively different, and there is going to be a few incidents, I'd say, especially in the second one. The second one seems the fastest of the 3. Now, we're into qualifying for the GT3s. They have 15 minutes, of course, the first class to get on the track in qualifying. And after that, they do have to wait half an hour till the beginning of the race, but there is a few of them today. I think maybe about 10 GT3s on the grid. Of course, they were at Hockenheim last time out, and that was some great racing. Ponta was the one to chase, and he still is the one to chase now, I'd say. 2 wins from 2 races. The only class to have the same winner 2 weeks in a row. Well, 2 rounds in a row, and there's the last chicane there. Very tight chicane.
Yeah, and fair, given his qualifying times previously as well, it's going to be tough to beat him. Unless he happens that he doesn't particularly like this track, you know?
Yeah, brand new circuit. You never know how drivers might adapt to it. Depends if people just got it like we did, or whether they got it on day one when it came out. So, and whether they've been driving these cars on this circuit. I'm not sure if these cars are the cars you would go to when this track came out. You'd always think, oh yeah, maybe people would drive single seaters and open wheels around here, and maybe not the hypercar, but maybe a few of them practicing. GT3 racing doesn't seem too bad around here, so we'll see. But that is the fast chicane of the second one. Luckily, there's no sausage curb on the second part because I could see a lot of cars flying through the air. It's an interesting circuit. There's lots of chicanes, lots of fast corners, but lots of long flowing ones. Turn 2, very long and flowing. The corner there was quite long as well. There's a lot of long delaying corners. I see about 2 or 3 in there. It's just quite annoying. I always hate the ones which are late apexes and you just got to be patient and wait because it feels like you're going slow. But that one there seems a bit of a just annoying corner. You can really be clumsy there. That's it's not a 90-degree right, but it's not. It's a nothing corner that you could easily snatch a break and end up in the gravel. Which there's gravel traps we gotta love. An old-fashioned circuit. I know there isn't really much gravel, but eventually there is. But lots of gravel, which is nice to see. Gravel then wall. Doesn't look too forgiving, which is good to see. I have seen a few big errors already during practice, and there's a lot of the track being used into turn 1, which is quite an exciting double apexed fast part. It's quite exciting here, but this corner here looks horrible when there's lots of different classes around each other. Lots of people getting in each other's ways earlier. The LMP2s, of course, and hypercars have a lot more downforce than the GT3, so it's quite a danger zone for some contact in multiple lines through there too.
Yeah, and we can take a look at those times coming in as well. Just a moment ago, Fabio Ponta was 2 seconds ahead of everybody else. Obviously, Stefan Lagares just came in and put his car in the middle. So I think Ponta's the guy to beat right now. I'm not sure if many of these guys are going to be able to do it. I think we're going to see low 37s, but creeping into the 36s might be quite difficult.
Yeah, it does, as his teammate there, Alessandro, goes P2 just in the 37s, nearly in the 36s. But yeah, just last week, I believe Ponta was one of the only drivers to get in a certain time bracket. So he is the one to try. They're closer than, I think, a little bit normal. So we'll see if anyone can get into the 36s with him. But yeah, some close action here between two Lamborghinis, which is always nice to see. So it's Simeon and Lars, just with Hakon up ahead in I was going to say Ferrari. It is the Ferrari he's in, yes, but some nice sounding Lambos. I'm not sure how much the draft will make an effect around here. It's 3 long straights, 4 maybe. This straight's quite decently long. A little bit of slipstream wouldn't be too bad. We weren't really behind anybody into these 2 corners. That's not where you want any sort of traffic.
We just saw Lars as well jump out of the way so that he didn't give Simone any space, any toe down the main straight. He jumped straight off the track and parked the car.
Yeah, as you would. It's a smart thing to do. You don't want to help your, enemies out, but your opposition, of course, as Alessandro's got 2 purple sectors. Not the longest circuit in the world, as there's only 3 sectors on here, compared to a few other tracks that have a
Riding on
few
board with
more.
Alessandro now.
That's that corner. That's an annoying corner, and then it rounds off into the chicane as well. So it's a nothing corner, which has quite a big impact, I'd say, on how you take the chicane. And he has gone pole for now in the GT3 class by a 10th, which is not that big of a gap at all. And I'm sure Fabio would want to change that around, but a Ferrari sits at the top of the timing boards for now. Good to see. I think the GT3's had a few changes in an update recently, but of course no one's allowed to change cars, so I don't know how much that's going to have an impact on this season.
I definitely think it is going to change a few things, actually. For example, the Ferrari, I know, had what some would consider a bit of a nerf because it had its torque reduced. However, in some respects, on a track with this many corners, I'm wondering if that's quite a good thing, because it means you can put your foot down a bit harder on corner exit.
Probably easier to be a bit more consistent with it too, with it having less of a fight out of the corners. Look at that deep a little bit, maybe from Luigi, I think this is, isn't it?
Yes, Luigi Nespolino is still on track, though. I don't think he did set a time.
A little bit off the top, so I'm sure he'll come back around and go again.
And, just for any viewers that don't know who we're looking at, if you look at the timing sheet, the person who's currently highlighted in white on the number is the person who we are looking at.
Glenn, then in P11. My Brody hasn't set a time, has he come out the pits? No, he hasn't come out the pits yet, Brody. So there are 12 GT3s here today. Only 11 have set a time at the moment. Just need to see who's where. It says for me that Hakon's going quicker, but he's only got a green in the first sector, so he's not gone purple, but Glenn's also gone a green on himself as well. Try and get onto the back of Ricardo. It's like almost an uphill chicane, that. Seems it is definitely uphill, which is nice. First look at the circuit, it's quite a nice flowing one, to be honest.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen it. I bought it just before the stream. I do quite like the look of it. It looks like it's a very GT3-centric circuit as well.
Quite a lot of curve there from Glenn. Yeah, does look nice. I'll give it that as Glenn goes P10. Hakon behind. Fabio's going purple in 2 sectors. Hakon improves but stays 4th. So this is Fabio's response to Alessandro going pole. Here we go. That's a lovely shot. Hits the brakes, turns in. Don't hit that big orange curve. This time he didn't go as deep as Luigi did. How much curve does he take? A little bit. And all of the exit up to the grass. And then straight over. And it is pole by a 10th. And the line for the timing line is a lot earlier than you think. It's not under the bridge at all. It's quite a lot earlier.
It's not even a 10th there. It's 400.
No, it's not, sorry, yeah. Even less. So interesting stuff. So the driver on board with now, I didn't race last week. Remember that. I don't think he's been race 1. He did well. I know probably definitely top 10, but I'm not quite sure. Got to check it now where he did finish that race, because I don't think he's been up in the top 3 yet, and he's sitting pretty at the moment. One of the only drivers that aren't a Leo racing car to be in the 36s. Let's quickly have a scatter through and see where did he. So he was 7th in the championship in after round 1. So of course qualifying points and all of that included, but I don't think that means he finished in the top 5. But it's P3 at the moment. I'm not sure if they changed the Lambo. I'm not sure he just thoroughly enjoys this circuit. 5 minutes left of qualifying for the GT3s before the LMP2s have their 15 minutes of fame. Lots of yellows at the moment. Brody's still not emerged from the pits. Did do some practice time, so don't know if he will settle. Oh, it actually,
yeah, he just moved
just
a bit
emerged.
then.
Yeah, he's emerged as I said that, and he is now doing 60 miles an hour, so he's going through the pit lane. So he will come out the pits. There he is. He's got Ricardo behind him in the lovely ASR bound livery with the Rogue Energy and Majors as he makes sure he doesn't get in the way of the car going by, which was Hakon. I've seen a lot of mistakes in practice coming out of that turn 1, a lot from the LMP2s and the hypercars, where they've just run out of turning ability and caught the gravel and spun. There was a great save by, I'm not going to remember his name now, which is unfortunate. One of the drivers, I probably might figure out later. Benjamin, I think it was, in the LMP2, did an amazing save, which caught his left rear on the gravel and just absolutely full lock one way, but within a second he just had it straight again, which is great. So there's going to be a lot of moments for the LMP2s and hypercars after turn 1 in that long right-hander and catching the gravel. Well, I say it's basically turn 3, isn't it? But yeah, on the exit there, that could be a big point of getting some good lap times in. I don't see it too much in the GT3s. They don't have the same amount of downforce, so don't need to push the limit as much. Quite close in the timings. Everyone seems to be about a tenth off each other. Not too much big gaps as Simon stays P8 but goes quicker. Luigi's gone green in sector 1, but not purple at all. Hakon's coming towards the end just ahead of us. And apparently he's got 2 yellows as a bit of warming up the tyres from Brody there. Don't know how much that will help.
I think we're gonna follow Brody through a lap here. If you see anything interesting, just let me know. We can have our new little toy to play with right here on the side of the screen.
A new little toy. Let's see then, Brody. So Luigi's gone quicker. As well, Simeon says he's improving in sector 1 as well. But Brody, doing his first lap of the whole session, he's going to get, he's got another 2 minutes, so he's going to get another one in after this, I'd say. He's green in sector 1 as well, Brody, which is not shocking because it's his first lap, but Simon at the moment is green in sector 1 as well, but sadly
absolutely
yellow in sector 2.
That chicane then, Brody did.
He's gone deep there, I'd say, hasn't he?
Yeah, he missed the apex absolutely in that last corner. Although the exit wasn't that bad, but he definitely missed the apex.
It tells me that Lars is actually purple, but now he's not. I think so. We'll see what Lars does. Brody comes near the end of his first lap. I'm not sure which screen to look at, but because I keep forgetting Brody's not on mine. Brody has Ricardo behind him, which has gone green in the middle. Lars, it says, is 2 yellows, so maybe he's not going purple. So Brody quite slow through there, but let's see how he does the last chicane.
That's Lars on the small screen.
Not as much curb at all there from Brody, but it does cross the line. And did his time count? His time did count. He is P12, but he'll go again. What's he got? Oh, he's not got enough time. Oh, no, he actually can finish his lap, can't he? Of course he can. He can finish his lap off, and he'll be able to get it in, because then the LMP2 will start. There's And that's off the road.
Yeah, they've got 10 seconds till LMP2s need to be moving. There we go. P2s are starting to move to the end of the pit lane now.
Yeah. Is it going quicker? Is Fabio? It says he is, but he's not. And there they go. The LMP2s just absolutely leaving the pit lane. It's great to see they're all going bit by bit. Out there you go.
Yeah, Brody's about to finish his lap. I'm not quite sure on the rules for finishing your laps after the time's finished, but
yeah, I think he's allowed to finish this lap, and of course he just has to go straight in the pits because he won't get in their way as they're all just leaving. But a lot of cars are now. Hakon's going quicker in the Hakon's on a lap. Fabio crossed the line and goes quicker at the moment by less than a tenth, but he does go quicker. I think Hakon is on one here, and he's of course allowed to, as long as he started it before the 15 minutes finished, he can, which he looks like he did, so he'll be able to finish this one. He's yellow in Sector 2, though. Luigi's also on a lap, which he did technically as well cross the line, so they're allowed to finish their laps here. The LMP2s won't get in their way and won't catch them. What does Hakon do? If he improves, he gets a place, but I don't think he does, so that's Hakon done.
No, he doesn't improve. Doesn't look like Luigi's going to either.
Oh, Luigi's been caught up by the LMP2, so I would like to think he's not gonna.
This is a bit risky now for Luigi in terms of hindering the P2s.
Well, luckily you have to say that they're only on outlap, so he'll be all right in that, and he does go straight into the pits.
So it looks like we've got Leon at the head of the pack, I think, is that. Oh no. It's just my screen, my timing screen is out of whack.
Car number 5, Robin, will be the one that's the first LMP2.
On screen.
See how much of a difference it is. This circuit's probably quite different in an LMP2 than a GT3, as they're quite close to each other there. And you said about slipstream in the GT3s, I don't think you want to be pulling anybody along in the LMP2s. And Aiden, which is the one with the slipstream in this little train, has gone purple. So I think proving the point of you don't really want to be giving. That's the corner. That's it. It's so fast, really. I watched 2 cars go side by side earlier. Look at them. They're right on the limit of the gravel as well. They're really taking all that steep by 2 of them, and there's the ground goes. Aiden, the background. The rear end just didn't have the grip he wanted. Yeah, it's got that going. As if nothing happened. I said about how they do really push the limits, but yeah, it's very early to go for it. I guess got to let the tyres warm up a little bit. I wonder if the slipstream did have any effect on him spinning around. A lot of curb used. All right, Robin, to the end. There's the line. So the timing line, very early. It's the checkered flag on the floor. As they cross is the timeline. You'll see it here with Leon. So there it is. That little checkered flag is the timing line, and the start line is there. There's the difference. And Paulo has gone pole. For now, he's now being beaten by Benjamin, I believe. Benjamin's gone pole now. It's going to continue to change each time everybody goes across the line.
And who are you looking at on your screen right now?
Leon is the one on my screen, just going for another lap. Didn't get that first lap in, I don't think, which is interesting. What if there is... I think there is track limits somewhere on this circuit, and it looks like he may have found them. A lot of them may have found them, because a lot of them haven't actually got times. Second on the first one. Aiden not got a time. Well, Aiden did spin, to be fair, but Dylan didn't get a time either, and I believe he was the car in front of Aiden, so... Interesting to see how many people didn't get times in on the first go, but of course 15 minutes worth of driving, they're going to all be able to get a lap in like the GT3s did. Paulo just behind Leon as well. Everyone's spreading out a little bit now, which is probably good to have a bit of space. Don't want to be right behind somebody.
There is a country flag I don't recognise on here from Joe's, I think. You have to figure out what that flag is. There you go. I'll put some flags on screen for you, see if anybody knows. Well, the country flag
that's, oh, hang on, let me go back to the thing where because it's very small on that for me, but there it's Load. That's I was gonna say Slovakia, but it's not Slovakia. It's Oh God. Well, maybe it is actually. Where's he gone? Oh, he's just crossed the line. He's just moved up position. That's why he just.
It is. You're correct. It's Slovakian
Am I?
flag.
Thank you. There
Yes.
you go. I know my
Excellent.
countries.
The things you learn through doing racing.
It literally all is, yeah, fully is. We have the Gibraltar flag in the TCR series as well, which is a new one to see. Still can't say the driver's name, so I just say the driver from Gibraltar. But they had a lovely livery on Jose's car, by the way, the 911 car. It's absolutely stunning.
Then always a fan favourite livery here that we're looking at. Paulo Lopez always has the custom ASR liveries with his flag on it as well, the Portuguese flag.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Nice design. He wanted it a bit lighter, so Kevin had to get it a bit brighter, which I must say you can tell the difference between round 1 and round 2. When the graphic of the car comes up later, you'll see it's very nice and bright on the graphic as well. So it does look very nice, and he does care a lot about it quite a bit.
As to mention, most of our Ansel Racing liveries can be found on Trading Paints. You just have to search up Kevin Stam, who we will see on track later. But if you want to race an Ansel Racing livery, just go and download one.
Yeah, that's simple.
Yeah.
That's simple. I tried to convince him to do more and more orange liveries. I think one he did that was a bronze livery that he said was orange, and I disagree with him. But
well, you know, orange is the Dutch colour, so not surprising the slightest there. Whereas I like to stick to my I like to stick to my magentas.
Yeah, magentas.
Yeah.
Dylan is absolutely, well, I say he's absolutely flying, but he is going green in P8. The race winner from round number 1, round number 2 race winner is Mark. That is in P7 at the moment. So P2 race winners are P7 and P8 at the moment. So not that high up. I think.
Oh, got a spin around the back there. I didn't quite who that was. It was the orange livery.
It was Jose that has gone round. He's still trying to find his way back on to the road. I can go have a little look at that if you want.
Yeah, sure. There you go, replay to the small screen there, watching Jose, see what happened during his spin. New bit of tech we're trying out, so still in development.
Waiting for the rear to kick out, but it's not going to kick out at any
point. On the main screen there we see James jumping the chicanes and going round. Just took a bit too much curb there, just before the line as well. He was completely green, so would have been really nice there.
Oh, why is it not? Oh, it's not replay, Jose. Let's replay, Jose. Why is it not Here we go. This should be it. Is he going to loop it round? Yes.
Oh, I just lost the rears. He either entered too quick or dabbed a little bit too much brake while I was turning.
Oh, it's a lovely donut to get back going though. Like nothing had happened. Oh no. How has it done that? Currently just being absolutely mugged off by technology as it decides that it wants to show me. So you show me the full picture. It's showing me the picture is in a like it's a phone, like I'm on my phone.
Oh yeah, yes, that is correct. It's because I just changed a few settings, unfortunately.
Oh, you've mugged me, not the.
Yeah, okay, I mugged you off there.
Fair enough.
It's so that I can add some nice transitions for our viewers. That's why.
Oh, okay. If I get punished for that, that's fine. Right, who's on laps? Everybody on purple laps. Andy Tapman maybe on a lap. his Andy Tapman and Leon both use the same livery, so don't get confused with that. One of them's more up to date, which is Andy's one, but they are identical other than the A. You'll notice the A on the ASR is different, but I think that's about it, really. But the way to tell those two apart, and of course their number. But who notices that while everyone's driving around? I think their numbers are quite different, to be fair. 25 and 77, quite different numbers, but still not the easiest thing to capture on these cars because they're not the biggest. But 14 cars here in the LMP2s, which is the most, it seems, on the grid. Biggest class today. Not sure if that's the first time we've ever said that, but fair play to them. Interesting to see that the LMP2 seems to grow in popularity since the hypercars come out. There we go, as Wessel just crosses the line and stays P6. Let's see, he needs a 10th to get a place and does stay P6 for now. Benjamin on pole at the moment. Aidan Young doing very well in P2 as well. I haven't really mentioned him. Connor Gibb in P3. So it's interesting. The top three are the ones you'd expect, to be honest. The ones you'd expect to be up there. The previous race winners are 4th and 7th, and James is P10 at the moment, which did cross the line first last week, but didn't get the win after some unfortunate things. I don't know how to word that. I don't just shit. So I think he got a penalty from the stewards of iRacing and the penalty from ASR maybe. So he really didn't have a good end to the race. It was all going well until he got out of the car, I guess. It's kind of unfortunate for him.
Yeah, he had pretty bad luck on his previous lap as well. So obviously he's only got yellows this lap. The lap he just completed, so he didn't move in the standings at all. The previous lap, he spun just before the...
Paulo clobbered though. He's finished the lap backwards. He has absolutely clobbered the chicanes there.
Did he actually set a time for that?
I think he did, but I don't think it counted. I think, I just see he got a... I think he did, I don't know if he got a 28-0, but it may not have counted, because he clobbered them. I mean, he climbed the curbs and wow.
Yeah, it seems to be an issue in these P2s and along in the hypercars as well. I've heard both of them complaining about these sausage curbs that just launched the cars. The GT3s seem perfect, I only saw one GT3 in practice or qualifying that was spun by him. Whereas I'd assume the P2s and the hypercars are much stiffer and lower to the floor.
Oh, James clobbers him as well, but he survives. Yeah. Seems like they can't take as much. He does go P5, James, there, but a bit more time maybe in that, as they are using a lot of the curb there. Absolutely clobbered them.
Drift by Paolo on the main screen then.
I think James comes to the end as Benjamin, anybody going quicker? Mateo's going quicker than himself, I think, in P40 at the moment.
Just word from the race director in the YouTube chat as well, George, saying it's very clean so far, which is very, very good to hear. Of course, any penalties that do happen will be updated on screen. So it's good to see there's none so far, or that we're aware of.
It's clean until they all actually start being on the track at once.
I was going to say, it's clean until turn 1 of the race.
Yeah.
Because I can see this turn 1 is going to be hellish.
Mateo's locked. It's on the corner I said, the dumb corner, the annoying one. There's nothing to it. He's locked the front, like I said you would. Oh, someone's joined him. Aiden's joined him in there. Oh. What's happened to Aiden? I'm going to go find out how he's managed to do that one. But apparently James at some point.
Drop a replay in the side screen there. A little screen
Aiden's,
watching Aiden.
I think Aiden's one's counted as a spin, which is somehow crazy.
Oh, wow.
I can get James. What's James done then? He's come out the pits.
On the small screen now, got James replay.
Oh, he's gone. Straight into the gravel.
Oh, wow.
Is he going to find the wall? No. It's just annoying, isn't it? But apparently, somehow it's crazy to me that Aiden's spin did not count as a spin. Paulo's apparently gone off the road.
Well, we got some hypercars moving.
Well, what's Paulo done? Oh, he's just silly onto the gravel, and yeah, we're going to see a lot of that today.
Yeah, I was about to say exactly the same thing. If we're seeing all this during qualifying. I mean, I realise everybody's pushing a bit harder for qualifying, but you know, I think some of these corners people aren't quite so used to, not quite as comfortable with. Definitely going to see him off in the gravel.
Yeah, James back out there. How long we got?
Hypercar's coming out
now. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, he's just started as the Hypers fighting out. So everyone, car drive across the line there, and he should just finish his lap. So here they come.
I think,
absolutely.
Sophia Ridpath is out first, I believe.
I believe it's close, but I believe so. So he'll file out a few less hypercars than before. Anybody on LMP2's getting better? It's Jay. It says he's got a purple on the thing, but he says yellow on the main screen. So James, P5 at the moment, wants to improve. While the hypers get ready, is he going to improve? There's a few of them out there that are trying, but I don't think any of them are. It says to my right that he's going a little bit quicker. He does touch the grass, flies through the second chicane.
Yeah, James is definitely going quicker now. It's going to be really interesting. So watching James on the small screen right now. And Sophia on the big screen, who is the first hypercar who is going to set a lap, supposedly.
Benjamin's got pole, big curb. Now, right, last two, chicane, lots of curb. To the line.
He does.
Surely it's an improvement. Yes.
He does. Very, very good. So everybody, well, down to P4. We've got all in the 27s for the P2s, and then the next sort of 6 or 7 people all got in 28s, which is really nice to see. So there should be some close fighting with the P2s. Now into hypercar. It's relentless. This is one after the other.
Yeah, it's lovely how it flows. So yeah, Benjamin takes pole then in the hypercar. Aiden Young starts P2. That's probably the story of that one. Still don't understand how he spun. Maybe got scared of Matteo off the road. But yeah, interesting to see. That's a mixed up LMP2 grid, but you would say it's on pace as well. Dylan P3, James P4. That should be an interesting turn one there.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the hypercars take to this in comparison to the other cars. For example, in my opinion, they look almost similar speed in the corners to the P2s.
Yeah, you can't get too much faster, can you? They are.
But we'll see it when the times come in. I mean, the P2s are 10 seconds faster a lap than the GT3s. I don't think we're going to see the same thing between the P2s and the hypercars. I think we're going to probably see about 5 seconds.
Yeah, the hypercars seem like in the fast speed sections they're more stuck to the road, but they're horrible to brake at the rear. They're almost like a touring car, which is great. And the LMP2 has a little bit less downforce at the rear because the rear will go on a long, fast corner compared to the hypercar seems a bit more stable. I did see someone drop it earlier, to be fair. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see a few, but wouldn't quickly expect them to be too much faster as Tom's gone off at the city corner into the gravel.
That was Tom on the small screen then, watching Tom because he purpled. Obviously, he will not set that lap anymore. So
and of course the battery as well. We always said that the second lap's quicker, isn't it? So
yeah, of course.
They're only a second quicker at the moment. Not even that much, are they? They're on the same pace. I guess it's the battery power.
Yeah, I wonder if they used a charge lap or something like. Oh, Sophia goes round. That's those typical hypercar rear brakes. Everyone's always.
Yeah, we just said.
Yeah. Oh, I thought Andrea was going to go round then as well. Like proper drifty or looked drifty around that hairpin. Really threw the car around. You can see under braking, like into that chicane, then how wobbly that rear end is. Yeah,
they're good for the quick sections of the circuit, like right through that chicane there. But on the slow bits, when you actually have to brake, they're horrible. There's a lock up there for one of, I think, who am I even on board with?
Whoa!
Christine. It was. Oh, there's another one off.
Yeah,
who's that? Bang!
Andrea goes straight off. We saw that live. That was typical rear brakes. You know. Hit those rear brakes too hard, your rear's just sliding. It just goes.
Yeah, they're twitchy cars, aren't they? When you got the power down, it's fine, but as soon as you have to come off the power and brake a little, they hate the brakes. Yeah, I think it's got to be something to do with the recharging. Did they use the rears? Is that how they do it? Do they do it like Formula E?
I have no idea. I mean,
I wonder.
in electric car theory, you know, it's always better to recharge on the front brakes. But yeah, it's very,
You say
very
that, but in
strange, isn't
Formula
it?
E, they're all on the rear, aren't they? Incident involving car number 5, pit lane procedure.
Car number 5, who is that? Car number 5 is Robin Durmel in LMP.
Interesting. Well, he finished his lap at the very end there, but I don't think he got anyone's way, luckily. But so the first time of 1:23.9 is probably the first one where the battery's powered up and everything, so it's about 4 seconds then. Is the gap, roughly.
Oh, there we go. Looks like we've got a proper time there from Alessio Bernardini. 1:23.9. So I'm hoping everybody else is kind of going to be sneaking up to that, and he isn't just going to take it away.
Not that far, yeah. He did have a horrible week last week.
And it is, you know, it's just under 4 seconds faster, so close to my 5 seconds prediction.
We could get there, you never know.
Yeah.
He's got a purple first sector.
But then yellow's in the second sector, so...
Yeah.
You know, I'm wondering if, you know, how much the tyre temperatures come into play on these things. Because if you're absolutely nailing it, absolutely sort of letting your battery force your car around the track, your tyre temps are going to be way higher than if you're not using your battery.
Cool, it's a tenth between the two of them. Well, no, it's not even that. It's 0.02 of a second between the top two. Now, that is what you want.
I believe they're both the same team as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Both race winners so far this season. Christini won last week. I'm saying this, but I don't even believe what I've just said, because he didn't. Lorenzo won last week, and Alessandro won round 1, but Alessandro had... Alysso, had a horrible time last week. I mean, took out an incident that they weren't even involved in. Twice, I think. Twice that happened.
A warning reprimand for car number 5 for queuing at the pit lane exit.
Oh, have we stopped that, have we? That's kind of fun.
I would like a bit of clarification on that, like just a bit of reasoning, if any stewards would like to give us that. Like, does it mean queuing to leave the pits at the start of their qualifying, or does it mean sort of queuing on the exit line outside of the pits?
Yeah, I used to love it when you see them all just queuing up before the start of their qualifying session, but it doesn't seem that anymore, so they must have put some rules in place to stop that.
I'm wondering why, you know?
Yeah, because I used to enjoy that.
Out.
So I was a real nerd for that. Have we just had a steward join us? We have. We had the main head one.
It's listening to us. That's what it is.
Oh, the rule maker's just listening.
Yeah.
Listening in. Just want to clarify that penalty for car number 5. So, queuing at the pit lane exit, as you said, we did used to have that in season 1 of IMSA, but that was because there was a transition period between the two classes, so a 2-minute buffer period. But now there isn't. So, in theory, right up until that point that the LMP2s are allowed to leave the pit lane, the GT3s could also still be leaving the pit lane. So the LMP2s aren't allowed to block the pit lane in any way or queue up at the line before going out. So that was made clear to all the drivers at the start of the season. So just a reprimand or a warning for that. It's the same thing. That goes on the license, of course, but just a warning for that, really. Make sure it doesn't happen again, and a reminder to all other drivers that we can't be queuing at pit lane exit. So there you go. Had it clarified now.
Interesting.
Clarifies it. Makes complete sense as well.
Yeah, I was wondering if it'd be something to do with the timings of different car classes going out, as of course we did see both car classes on track between qualifying sessions, which we didn't see last year, because obviously we did have that buffer period last season.
Kevin's off the road. He's going to fly on the wall. Bang.
Yeah, I caught that just as you said it as well. Amazing. Oh, Sophia's gone. Oh, I thought Sophia's going to go off the track then, but no. Just shows the turning and the downforce these things have.
It is ridiculous.
Looks like it wasn't going to make the corner, but it absolutely did.
It's ridiculous. They're great in high speed, but slow speed they suck. Which it's got to be, isn't it? It's all got to be about that regen of the battery. That's why they've got to be so difficult. The only reason I can think of, because the LMP2 is not like that. The LMP2 just sort of gives up on you at the rear
Yeah.
eventually, but
Well, I'm waiting for the moment where, in motorsports, that some governing body allows people to build the cars with fans in them.
again,
Yeah, because, I was watching a really good documentary earlier today about the, do you know the Murty car? That,
Lorenzo goes pole by 2 tenths.
Yeah, the Murty car that beat the Goodwood hill climb record.
Oh, that awesome little beast of a car that's electric.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome, that.
Pound for pound, it's faster and got more downforce than an F1 car.
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it?
It's
It
absolutely
just
ridiculous.
sucks it to the ground.
It's got 2 fans in the back of it.
It sounds awesome as well.
Yeah, even though it's electric.
Yeah. It sounds awesome, it's quick. What else do you want?
And it's got more downforce in slow corners than anything else ever made. Because of the fans. The fans are constantly revving. So it's really interesting. I think it's a technology that maybe some motorsport should employ somewhere.
Well, supercars are going to have it eventually, so it's got to benefit a manufacturer, isn't it? That's the only thing. It's crazy as under it goes P4, but yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome technology, and that car is sick. So
yeah, absolutely,
I'm not against it.
They're running. They're making a road model for 2 million. If anybody wants one.
I think if you have 2 million, it's a sure thing.
Yeah.
Like if you have that as spare change, I'd buy that.
Don't want to puncture though, because you're looking about $4,000 per wheel. Because they are custom made
if they've got 2 mil, I don't think $4,000 too much of an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would. You'd have that any day. Yeah, if money's not a problem for you, get that. And there's another lockup for Kevin. But yeah, it's awesome. I would like to see how they continue in the future. Another lockup. So there's a lot of lockups in this. Just the brakes on these cars seem to be horrible.
Yeah, I remember when it was first released and everybody was arguing about the brake bias settings and trying to get it spot on. I don't think anybody's quite got it yet.
Yeah, they say they must still be arguing because no one seems to have the answer. Only 3 minutes left in qualifying. The grid here is all spread out than normal, so I'm not sure if it's just this circuit, but that's a lot of curb by Christini again.
We've got 3 guys in the 23s there. They're the same team as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah, same team.
So top 4 are all the same team.
Yep.
Yep. However, we have seen clashes in teams before.
It's that exact team as well.
Yeah, last season we actually saw these guys have clashes 3 races in a row. So you never know. Reaching first corner with these guys, they're going to have to be communicating well and making sure that none of them are doing anything particularly silly, like braking a bit too late or even braking a bit too early and having the guy behind you run into him.
Especially in these cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody's spinning somewhere. I heard it, but I can't see it. I don't know, wasn't it?
It should flash up on your timing sheet when someone's spinning. The little stripe next to their number should go red.
I've got someone that apparently went off, so I can have a look at that.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring that up on screen right now. There you go.
That's what just crossed the line, stays where he was. Let's have a little look.
Who is that?
That is P8, car 27, and yep, he went off. Whoa. And he found the wall. Oh, he found it wall hard.
Yeah, so that was one tow of Al we're watching there.
Yeah, there was no safety barrier. Was that on the exit of... I'm going to just watch that again for my own sanity. Was that on the exit of turn 2 like I thought it would be? It was. And does he clip any of the gravel? It doesn't clip the gravel, but he finds the wall anyway. Which is exactly what I said about earlier with these cars. They are absolutely on the limit. Coming out of turn 2. Thank you for everyone for joining us for this race. If you haven't subscribed, which by the way 60% of the viewers aren't, and you're coming back, might as well click the button, getting closer to 400, and do follow the Instagram while you're there, because that's getting closer to 300. And all the news and updates and championship standings and all of that is all on the Insta, and join the Discord, of course, just to see what the drivers say. And normally it's shouting at each other about something, and then occasionally some nice new update about what's coming to our race, which is Formula Ford I saw the other day.
Yeah, I saw
It's
that
coming.
earlier as well.
I put it on the Instagram to see if people would be interested in it. Resounding no. 60%. 60% said no, not really.
No, I mean
And I was quite shocked.
it's going to be the stepping stone, isn't it, between
It'd
Formula
be great
V and
racing.
whatever's above it.
Formula
F4.
V is fantastic racing.
Formula V is amazing. It's one of my favourite
So I
series.
think Formula Ford will be exactly what you want with a bit more power.
Yeah.
Someone's crashed. I can hear it. I think Kevin Stam's found the wall.
Yeah, he did. I'm gonna put that on screen now.
Oh, he's already off the road, and he's just.
Whoa, bit wobbly. Whoa. Oh god.
Oh wow.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't do that in the race. That's wow. That was bad from the beginning.
Yeah, I think he didn't get any better. Qualifying comes to an end.
Qualifying has come to an end.
Lorenzo is going quicker.
Sophia's also
in the
beating
middle.
her record as well. Wonder if we're going to see it come up to P5, maybe.
Oh, Lorenzo pits.
You've got 59 seconds to complete your laps now.
Wonder if on speed in the pit lane, because the pit entry line is very close to how fast you're going. It's really quite close, actually. You don't have lots of time to slow down.
So we've got Dean in the chat saying, can't wait to see everybody on the track at the same time. Yeah, I can't wait either, as long as the FPS keeps it up.
Nice.
You know, iRacing isn't particularly optimised for this stuff, but yeah, we're trying our best.
Well, we're about to see it in the warm-up, as Sophia does stay P6, bit of an improvement, stays where she was.
We've got, for some reason, Alessio staying on track, just waiting for qualifying to end. Maybe to get a good look at the car as well, you know?
I wonder what he's doing.
Posing for screenshots by the look of it. You know, that's a perfect screenshot right there.
Don't blame him. Smart thing to do. Yeah, if he's posed right in front of the Magny-Cours sign, that wouldn't be too bad.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge for the end of the race.
Yeah. If you win, tell me what you're doing, donuts, or I need it for later.
Just for the Insta.
Yeah, straight. Yeah, every time you stop, it's for the Insta. It's ridiculous how quick everyone's about to pile out that pit lane. By the way, that is scary stuff. As it's like too wide coming out of the pit lane. I wonder if anyone's going to crash on the pit exit, because it's quite a long pit exit as well. You can go full speed pretty early on it.
Yeah, everybody's just gathering together now. Love the wheels in that P2 there.
Marks, yeah.
On the pink wheels. Oh man, everybody's shuffling and pushing, and obviously we don't get this at the beginning of a race simply because the starts are staggered.
I wonder how many laps it will take to get like this again, though. It was only 3 or less in Hockenheim. Yeah. That's scary, that hairpin.
And what was the lap times in Hockenheim?
Oh, they're nudging each other each class. Similar.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty similar.
Not?
Yeah,
similar.
So I think, you know, prediction of 3 laps before the hypercars catch the GT3s is a really, really good shout, actually. Especially considering they do start about 15 to 20 seconds earlier.
There's a big delay, isn't there, between when the hypercars start and where the GT3 start. They get a massive delay, and like the LMP2 hypercar is going to be halfway around the circuit before the GT3 even start the race. So, yeah, I'm not sure where the overtaking spot is. I just watched Sophia pass Kevin. Well, still side by side, to be fair. But I don't know where the places are to overtake. I haven't seen a race here ever in my entire life.
No.
So, I guess the corner, which I call the silly corner, before the chicane will be one place. So Sophia loses the rear end and lives to survive another day, just about. Kevin will go back past. But, yeah, I don't think any moves into turn 1. That'll be risky.
That'd be
Maybe
super
turn 3 is
risky.
quite long.
Yeah.
Maybe turn 3 going into the chicane. It's quite a fast chicane, but maybe. They're so by side, maybe through turn 2.
I think the main risks in this one isn't necessarily going to be overtaking your own class. It's going to be overtaking slower or faster classes in these tight corners, because some corners here, they don't have enough space for 2 cars to go side by side. For example, the fast chicanes. You know, if you're a hypercar and you meet a GT3 in those fast chicanes, what do? You know?
You're just gonna have to be patient. It's an hour race. You're gonna have to be. They don't have to move for you at the end of the day. Yeah, it's gonna be. I just don't know how many places there are to overtake. I'm thinking there's at least 3 or 4, so there should be some good. Wow, flip it out. Where's Sophia going? Find the road. Lovely. Luckily, that part of the circuit's not gravel, but yeah, there's a few. And as you said, the interclass battles could be chaotic and could be again crucial to who wins always.
Well, Lorenzo just managed to set a very nice lap time, even passing through all that traffic. He's the only person to have set a lap time yet. Obviously, it's not important for warm-up, but it's good to get a bit of a judge, you know? Oh, the LMP seeming much slower.
Maybe.
And of course, some of these guys will have switched over to their race trim as well, so they won't be in qualifying mode anymore.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how much of a difference that makes with the batteries as well for the hypercar. The racing in LMP2 this season has been very, very hard racing, so I can't wait for this one again. The biggest grid as well here today, and I think they will have the absolutely hardest racing, which they have had so far all season. It's good to see the LMP2s. I think slowing them down slightly has helped with the racing being a bit closer. They can go a bit more side by side, and sometimes they even get door to door, which is nice. The hypercar class not too bad for racing as well. The GT3s end up spreading out a little bit, but looking at how qualifying finished, I think it could be quite a good one in GT3s today.
Yeah, I do think this is a fantastic track for GT3s. I think it's a very GT3-centric track. Very much looking forward to trying it myself when I get a bit of time as well. It reminds me very much, actually, I was going to say this earlier, it reminds me very much of Hungaroring.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's
which
is interesting because Hungaroring is probably one of my top 3 tracks. I love the track. So
I love it. Yeah,
yeah, I think I'm probably going to enjoy this track as well.
What do you think the track map looks like?
I did actually think of this earlier. I think it looks like a flying goose that's looking back at all its buddies.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I did have a good story thought out for this.
That was really precise, actually.
I think we need to ask the chat the same question. So, chat, what do you think the track map looks like for this track?
I can't get that out of my head now. It does look like something, like a snake or something has just turned its head around
to
look back at something, yeah. Yeah, it's...
So we don't have a huge amount of time to go through the entire grid, so we're just going to go through the top 3 of each class here. We have got... Let's just get this correct here. Yeah, so we've got Lorenzo, Giampaolo, and Alessio in 1, 2, and 3 for the hypercars. Benjamin, Aiden, and Dylan in the P2s. And if it allows me to change page, there we go. We've got Fabio Ponta, Alessandro Proti, and Stefan Lagares in the top 3 for GT3s. Yeah, SDK seemingly doesn't like doing the grid for multi-class races, which is why that was quite difficult.
Apparently, it looks like a pelican's mouth to somebody.
I'm just going to bring it back up again.
I'm just staring at it now.
Yeah, Snake's a good point. Oh, I've got it. It's a stingray with flipping its stinger.
Oh, God, no, that's... I see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
A pelican's mouth. I'm intrigued by that. It's the wrong way around for me, but if it was the other way around, the whole mode app, obviously, then yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Oh, we've got our beautiful cars coming up at the bottom of the screen. Obviously, for those drivers with pictures that have the backgrounds removed, with see-through backgrounds, looks brilliant on our SDK. So, any drivers listening, upload your pictures with see-through backgrounds. Looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look actually quite good. That looks very professional. Like we know what we're doing. Kevin, why is Kevin not on the grid for the hypercars?
He's starting from pit. That could be dangerous.
Is that what we saw him crashing about? Did something go horribly wrong with his?
Oh, very good point. It looked like
he did go straight.
It looked like he didn't save it. So I'm wondering what happened. He's not in the Discord chat anymore either.
Is he not?
No.
Oh, what's happened to Kevin? That's horrible. Just during qualifying, he's not got much time to sort it either because they're about to go and he's not here. Apparently, Brody Maynard's just crashed, but I guess they're just going quite slow.
Yeah.
Very back.
As soon as these guys pass the line, I'm going to flick and look at the car class behind. And Wes, if you could just keep an eye on the hypercars after they're carried on round the track, and I'll put that on screen for you guys as well.
GT3s, there is 11 GT3s.
Do apologise.
Today?
Do apologise about the frame rate as well. That'll get better once they start actually racing.
Go.
See the P2's just behind there as well.
I looked at the back of the GT3s. They're doing 30 miles an hour at one point. They were tiptoeing round. So yeah, that's why I was telling me they were crashing. They were going that slow.
Well, we've got the hypercars going about 70 kph right now behind the pace car.
Tyres are going to get cold. I'm going to hear a Hamilton on the radio complaining.
I think that's Al in the chat saying how many GT3s. Got 10 GT3s on track right now.
Is it 10? I thought it was 11. It's 12.
Oh, it's 12.
We can't count.
Sorry, it's 12. I can't count anymore.
We all got it wrong. That's 11 a minute ago. It's not even that.
I think we've got
7 hypercars because Kevin's.
Yeah, I think we've got a decent amount of each class today. Like having any more than these 7 hypercars or 8, including Kevin, would have been absolute chaos, especially for the 14 LMP2s that are just behind it.
Yeah, 14 LMP2s. We're joining next week. Wow,
amazing! Yeah,
good to see.
I'll just drop a ticket in the Discord and get that sorted for you.
So they're going to go single file through the last chicane was a note from race control, I believe.
Oh yeah, they did do there.
And then
they speed up next to each other. Look at the top 4 there.
Is he going? They're not going. They were going. Is all on the drive leader.
They've gone.
Here we go then. Sophia and Dad's side by side. The top 4 have sort of single file. Turn 2 doesn't exist for the hypercars. Turn 3 does, but I think they all single file pretty well. And some of them caught the gravel, but everybody seems fine.
So I've got P2s on the main screen now. Hypercars on the small screen. P2s have gone.
Are they single file? I'd say
they are just about single file by the end of that. And it looks like everybody made it quite cleanly. If you want to go to the P2s for me, and I'll watch the GT3s.
Yeah, everybody stays single file on the hypercars. It's getting racy for the LMP2s out of turn 2. I think the GT3s will be a bit more
just
dramatic.
went, and Fabio Ponta got a huge jump then. Lots of switching positions, but all look fairly safe.
Oh, who's lost it?
Whoa,
that's not
big
nice.
one on the small screen there. Who was that?
Leon lost it, and he gets collected by Andy.
Okay, gotta look on the main screen there for that one, because that was huge.
So what's happened to Paulo? Slowed down as well. He's just been passed by everyone. So Paulo
He's getting slowed down. I do know for a fact that the slowdown penalties on this track are absolutely brutal. Wow, he chose to spin at the absolute worst location there. Although pulled it back off track. Oh, but hit the wall. Come on, man. You could have put your brakes on.
That's unfortunate. Robin gets past Connor Gibbs. So lots of racing with the LMP2s, but they're still racing now, to be fair. Mark's got Dylan for company, and he's getting attacked by the No Limits team of Wessel and Dylan at the moment, but he's still racing hard. I think Dylan just got past him up the inside, and Dylan has just passed Mark for P4 as they hit the curb for the first time at the chicane, and then everybody's just about made it through lap number 1 in the LMP2s and the hypercars.
Got a crash here by Hakon Grebstad.
Oh, what? How's he ended up a bit quite far back than where he normally would be, I'd say.
Oh, hard on the brakes, hard on the brakes. Oh. Pulled it out of the way now.
Oh,
another one. Wow, those hairpins are causing issues by the look of it.
It's really tight racing in an MP2. They've just about got away with that one.
I see
It's
it.
exactly what you've seen there. Connor went deep, gets past Robin. Robin then gets back past Connor, but then all of that, Jose gets past the both of them, and it was all door to door. Lots of hard racing. Interesting to see this over as Ricardo that ended up spinning with Glenn as well and Peter in the GT3s that you saw at the end of that. Some flashing of the lights there from Robin. Not too happy with Jose, I think, which I kind of understand, but at the same time, it was proper door-to-door stuff.
Paolo looking for space there, I think. Getting close to the back of Andy Tapman. So 2 Amstel racing drivers fighting each other. Paolo pulling through in the hairpin. Beautiful, clean overtake there. Andy Tapman already dropping back a little bit. Looks like all the hypercars have already spread out quite a lot as well.
Yeah, look, I've just gone to have a little look at them. They are spreading a little bit out for now, I must admit. I think it's kind of, well, yeah, they're spread out quite nice, to be fair. Not one's going to be able to make any sort of moves. So Kevin doesn't look like he's even registered now. So Kevin, sadly, looks like he's out of the race before it even began. And Robin he's gone deep again.
Whoa.
And Jose says, thank you very much. Maybe Connor this time might get through. Give it a go. I don't think he will. Well, he's going to give it a go. His nose is there. And it's not there. I don't blame him for backing out of that one. That could have been a huge crash. Oh, no, it is a huge crash. It's all it's quite a few. It's a few of them. It's quite a few. That's about 5 LMP2s caught up in that. Andy Tapman, Paulo caught up in that.
Trying to catch it
Nothing
now.
they could have done.
My screen went mad for a moment. Let's try this. It was
luckily,
here,
it was on your screen for the stream. I looked away to look back, and then I'm not sure if he gets a tap or not, Jose, but it's caused damage to quite a few other cars. He'll be on the apex here. Oh, he's going to lose it on his own, isn't he? And
whoa!
First 2 miss. Paulo doesn't, and he doesn't. Yeah, not enough time. The hypercars, by the way, have already caught up to the back of GT3s, and it's getting crazy. Oh, no, they're off. They're off. Alesso's off. Christini's off as well. They got caught up in a GT3 at one of the fucking chicanes already.
Trying to find
it. It's a big crash.
My screen's going insane with information.
Oh, they've all gone to the pits. Big crash from all of them. Massive crash. Here we go. Slows up. Bang. Both of them out. Teammates hit. Big hits. They're all going to take a tow. They're all in the pit. Sophia's had an incident as well. I'm not sure if that's involving a GT3 or not, but she's also in the pits. That puts us down to 4 hypercars. And I don't know where Sophia's crash was.
Yeah, I don't have it on telemetry, so
I'm just trying to find it. She entered the pits. She entered the pit lane at the same time as all the crash was happening with Paulo. So I'm not sure where her one was. But for me, she just entered the pits. I'm just going to quickly have a little look at it. So it's on the small screen, Sophia's one. I think she literally legit just enters the pits. No, yeah, she just... Something's gone wrong for Sophia's car, I assume, because she's driven into the pits there.
And it was a 1 minute 22 total, which is pretty long, I think. Got another crash from Jose now. Let's go take a gander at that one.
Happens then for Jose. Let's go back on.
I reckon he's going to lose it by himself around the next hairpin.
Yeah, rear end's gone.
Yeah, right there.
So Leon's had a crash as well.
Whoa!
I think that may have been the crash
that
for Leon,
was
maybe.
Leon's crash, I'm pretty sure.
It's absolutely carnage. There's smoke everywhere.
GT3 then?
Whoa, who's
Did
that
you
off
see
the
that?
road?
Wow.
Alessandro, that was Lisso, sorry, off the road in the hypercar.
That was P2 of hypercar. Just got pushed off the road by a GT3. Is that a GT3 of the same team?
Yeah, hits the wall as well.
So this is what happens. This is what happens when you have so many of the same team on the same track. Like you're so much more likely to be pushed off the track by your teammate or to have collisions with your team, and then it just looks really, really bad, and it probably feels really, really bad as well.
Oh, it's going to be a bad debrief, isn't it, so far for them? No, Kevin sadly didn't make it to the race That's massively unfortunate. Well, he might be counting himself a bit lucky now after what we've been seeing. It's been absolutely carnage. Tom Dadswell trying now to make a move on Aliso, which will have damage from hitting the wall for P2 in the hypercar class as they're passing car number 70, which would be Luigi, I believe, up the hairpin in GT3s. 79, it would be Luigi. And they've got another car to pass, which is Stefan, which is Stefan probably, but which is in P3 still in the GT3 class. They just get through past the leaders of the GT3s. Matteo's apparently had a crash in the LMP2s. I will put on the small screen for you now.
Yep, on screen.
So have a little look. What does Matteo do? He's got a car behind him of Paulo. Is it going to be the city corner? It feels like it's going to be the city corner. Oh, it's not there. It's always got to be the last corner then. It's going to be bang, curb, bang. Oh, it's Paul. Ooh, does he get a little touch? Oh.
Wow.
Does he get a small little touch?
Yeah, a little love tap there.
And also had to do a massive 3-point turn. That took a while to do. That is not what.
So it's exactly what I said in qualifying. With as an LMDH driver coming along to these GT3s on tight parts of the track, what do you do? And in this case, you don't do what we're seeing on screen.
Absolutely throw it everywhere. Oh, I've just noticed that Stefan's flag is from Switzerland. I don't think we've had a Swiss driver, and that's side by side for P2, and Aliso will stay there for now. But yeah, I don't think we've had
Paulo Lopez crash.
Oh no!
Going to go back to him now. Pretty sure this is probably third or fourth incident in this race now. It's coming up on my telemetry.
Good, not even 10 minutes. He's not had a good one.
No, he hasn't. But saying that, there we go. Hit the gravel. Yeah. Saying that,
avoid him there.
It's 10 minutes in, which means a lot more of these sorts of incidents could happen.
Yeah, it's only 10 minutes, and it has been. Oh, Alisso's gone off the road. Alisso's gone off the road. Where is Aliso? He's not on your screen, and he was. Oh, he's in the gravel. He's in the wall in the background. Here we go. Oh, it's a twitch. Oh, it's a twitch again. And it's a slow one. The gravel saved him there. He hasn't found the wall, but he's lost P2.
And that's why all racetracks should have gravel traps.
He's down to P4 actually as well. Yeah, they really should. And that is unfortunate for him. It's really close, by the way, in GT3 for P2. It's Alessandro, then Stefani, maybe. I don't know how you would say it. It's Swiss as well. How would you pronounce the name in P3 and GT3? I feel like it's just mugging me off.
G3. Stefan, I would have said, but that's probably a bit too...
Stefan?
Yeah, it's probably a bit too French, but I don't know.
But Swiss, what are they? I think it's Switzerland. What's their second nationality after that? Oh, that's a lot of racing between
Swiss and German.
They speak Swiss. Swiss, is it German? I feel like that would be what they would. There you go, Stefan. Anyway, we're going to go with that for now. Pete, the undercut car racing team, and P3 giving it his all against the Leos. And he is ahead of Luigi for now. Hakon's having a drive back through the field. He has found himself now in 6th place, so he has made a good headway. Lots and lots going on. I think quite close here. I think is the closest is the LMP2 grid. Aliso, by the way, went and did his quick. He went and did a quick repair, so he's now dropped down a few positions, but P6 overall. As that's Lars versus Prodi for P8, which Matteo's apparently had another crash, and he's now jumped to the pit, so he's probably found the wall somewhere.
Drop it on a little screen for me.
Let's have a little look at what Matteo did. What does he do? Behind a car. Somebody's got off.
He's going to lose it.
Lars has got off. Oh, he's hit the curb massively.
Wow.
Oh, there's a
Lars,
wall.
Lars stuck in the trap there. We're looking at 2 different incidents on 2 different screens there.
Oh, the rear wings come off as well. I literally looked up at yours thinking, I've seen smoke. Oh, it's because Lars has spun. So that's Matteo's race probably ended there. Lots of curb. He went flying lessons there. He took a lot of curb. And oh, God, I didn't like seeing that. Aliso go up the inside of Hakon. I just expected him to turn in. Of course, he didn't, luckily. But yeah, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, so I was saying a moment ago, actually, back when it was just 10 minutes. We've got another sort of 50 minutes of this. And if other incidents such as everything we've seen do happen, it means that those hypercars that are now at the back do have a chance of coming back out on top again.
They are coming back through the field, by the way. Sophia and Christini and Andrea are all having to come back through, but they're having to overtake the LMP2 class for position as well. So they're having to come back through. And yeah, Matteo is now done and he's out of this race, which I'm not surprised.
Got Lars van Rijn just crashed again. Going to put it on screen while not too much is happening.
He rotated again in the...
It's going to be a hairpin. I'm saying it's going to be a hairpin.
It is. And there's a pass for the LMP2 lead, and it's Aiden up the inside and through on Benjamin. And it is again, exactly at the hairpin.
We're going to take a look at that pass now as well.
Oh, it's still going. They're about to go 3 wide as they're passing a GT3.
Well, we've got it on the replay.
It's too wide. It's right. They've backed out. It's K. It's all K on. And there you go. Aiden up the inside while Benjamin gets a bit slowed down from a GT3. And partial lead. Aiden is now leading the LMP2 class with Benjamin just behind Dylan in third, James and Mark. And I think it's just changed between Connor and Robin again, which are continuing to fight for P7. And there's a lot that has happened in this one so far already, which is just crazy, as now Aiden and Benjamin have to pass a bunch of GT3s. It's actually the front-running GT3s they're having to pass here into Turn 1 as they now get split up between them. Hopefully everybody's nice and calm and they look like they're being sensible. That's a bit wide there. I think the Lambo get a bit scared there of Stefan. Hopefully he stays and doesn't lose a position. He does just about stay where he was as they continue to fight now. Benjamin did technically pass Aiden here around the outside. So they go to the hairpin. It's be a tough one to stick it all the way around. He's not... Well, you have the run here. It's going to be risky, but he's ahead. I think Aiden's probably going to back out, be smart. He does, and Benjamin back into the lead on the LMP2 class, while behind them it's getting a little bit crazy, and Jose is crashed.
Waiting for that to finish so we could go watch this crash by Jose. And I'm telling you, it's a hairpin again. It's the same place. Same place.
Is it going to be a big... Oh, he's going to get a big hit from...
Yet again, same team as well. Oh, and he's gone again. Just going to move forward to the next... Okay, that was him stopping on track. Oh, that was him turning around. Yeah, it's because he's stopping and starting. I'm getting telemetry saying he's crashing.
So it's either Andrea or Galapina, Christini. They're coming back through the LMP2 field. So there's one of those two probably has been involved in that incident. It would seem as oh god, they're all the LMP2s bouncing across the curb there. I think Jose now finding himself jumped to the pits and a long tow and maybe out of this one. He's not had the best of times. Unfortunately for him, his car looks absolutely stunning. But that's not going to help him now. But yeah, lots and lots of racing as the GT3 is still pretty close. But the LMP2 field, either which way they can go around them, they will go around them. And it is a bit chaotic. Just a little bit. But yeah, see how the racing continues. We're not even, for 15 minutes in, it's just...
I can't believe it's only 15 minutes in. I think we've had enough action to fill 45 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, absolutely. And it's close there. And that's Sophia trying to get past. And D, yep.
Yeah, but props to Sophia here because she's been passing all of this LMP2 traffic without causing issues.
The only reason she's back there as well because she had to pit early. And I'm not sure why. I still don't know. She had to come in and do some repairs.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find a crash for her. So I don't know what had happened.
Although I don't actually know what... I should have remembered from last week, but I don't remember what the hypercar pit time is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So perhaps it was just an early pit stop and it's going to play into strategy somewhere, but I have no idea.
I'd be very shocked.
Same, yeah, I'd be shocked. But nothing came up on telemetry to say any crashes or off-tracks or anything like that. So
she's running pretty slowly into the pit lane too, like there was a mechanical issue, but I couldn't see any physical damage. I'm not sure. You can obviously blow your engine, do all that, but I would be surprised if she's like done her gearbox in or something like that. I don't think that would be possible. It'd be cool if it was, but not for obviously at this moment in time. But that'd be really interesting to see if something like that could happen. But it seems like it's calmed down a little bit for now. The LMP2 field is the front runners anyway. Have got through the GT3 field, and yeah, it's just absolutely crazy, isn't it? And
everyone's spaced out for a moment as well, so I think it's a bit of a breather for a lot of the slower traffic.
Pretty spread out. The LMP2s are still pretty close, but not close enough to do anything. The GT3s are still close for the top 3 at the moment, but they're not racing because they're trying to survive the first part of this race.
And the Discord chat is going a bit crazy right now with obviously people talking about these incidents.
I'm not surprised. There's been quite a few, and
yeah,
it does look like we can put a lot of the blame onto the
hypercars.
Yeah, that's good
mean,
that you finished this. I'm
reading
something, so I stopped.
On to the hypercars, absolutely, I agree. Obviously, commentators' words don't mean anything when you go and protest something. So, don't take what we see as fact. Obviously, that's all down to the stewards. But in our opinions, the hypercars absolutely were definitely in the wrong for a lot of things.
Here we go. I've got a list here for you of incidents that I'm about to say.
So our connection, on SDK isn't working quite right. So the stewards aren't able to send us messages right now. Not sure why, because they managed to do one earlier.
Yeah, they did do one earlier, didn't they?
Yeah.
So incidents between 77 and 25. So that's Leon and Andy. Well, that was what we saw lap 1 with Leon, I believe, just losing his brakes.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but unfortunately it did really mess up a couple of other guys.
So that's a 5 seconds for 77, which is Leon, but he's out of this race. It's between 99 and 23, which is just looking for 23 and 99. 23 is Peter and Glenn's 99, which I think we did see a glimpse of in the background of another incident, which has ended up with a penalty for Glenn, which is anyway out of this race. There's a 10 seconds after. There's a car number 3, 26 and 888, which is a post-race 10 seconds for number 3, which was the incident we saw with Christini and Andrea, which is a big one. Then there's another one with car 25, 52, and 990, 11, which is Jose, which we saw. That one doesn't seem to matter too much as the penalty's been given, but Jose's out of the race. I'm sure I can't exactly remember that one. Who's 25?
Oh, sorry, on screen, Dylan Vanderland's going for a move here. Now James, yep, there we go. James Ebram getting back the position.
Back into P3. The high LMP2s do seem to be the closest. Luigi's dropped off from Stefan as well. There's another battle between Connor and Robin happening for P8, so the LMP2s definitely are the closest. Connor's gotten to the outside here of Robin. It's tight in the hairpin, not able to get him. Has to back out and wait a little bit longer, but it is close between a couple of cars and the LMP2s. The hypercars are in the background. Connor's actually going up the inside of Robin. He does back out and he is smart. It's just Aliso has apparently crashed in P4. He's got back going because he's doing 100 miles an hour, so he has had a spin somewhere. But the hypercars now of Andre. No, there's no one Andre, is it? I'm not sure who it is that's getting involved, but they're getting involved with this battle that I'm seeing. But they eventually will catch back up to James. I'm not sure what happened with Aliso, but he's got back going nonetheless. But yeah, it's car 88 and 43. So that's Paulo and Matteo, but that doesn't want to. James has crashed apparently, but he.
Go take a gander at that. I'm going to look at it. Going to lose the rear here, maybe. But... hit the gravel, maybe? Nope. Bouncing. There we go.
Oh, wow. Randy goes free. Oh, God.
Good save. I think that was a save.
That was Dylan. Did he save it? Has he been a miracle worker? I'm going to
give us a quick rewind there, using my fancy buttons.
He has, hasn't he?
Let's watch this full speed again. Lose the rear. Oh, beautiful.
Lovely. It's stunning.
Not that he should have had to do it, but lovely.
No, but he's done it well. Paulo has pitted, by the way. The first actual pitters of the race. Where did he put that? He put it in broadcast. Anyway, more incidents just to note. Car 911 and number 3. Number 3 has got a 5 seconds, which is Christini. And the Tapman has crashed with a hypercar.
Oh, dear.
just seen that's popped up, or a hypercar's crashed with Andy. Wonder which way round it is.
Well, it's going from previous records. Oh
And
dear.
there's the hypercar.
Oh dear. Oh, braking zone. Oh, they were just a bit too close. I think there was a little bit of netcode in there.
It's gotta be. That's frustrating.
Whose hypercar is that?
That's number.
Is that Wanto? That's Wanto of Al's.
Yes.
Yeah.
P3 at the moment in the hypercar class, by the way.
Yeah, I mean P3
because
of all those crashes that went on. I mean, let's remember that Wanto didn't qualify very well in the slightest for hypercars.
No, so if you think you'd want to be trying his hardest not to get involved in anything, because it's perfect timing to get some.
Yeah, I think both of those guys didn't realise quite how close they were. Would be my opinion on that one. Obviously, I think it's a bit unfortunate, that one.
Oh, Mark Hutchinson's crashed. I'll get it up on the small screen. They're not happening exactly, but he's falling through the order.
He is a P2.
0 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, he was P4. Is it going to be exactly what we've just seen? Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Oh, he's lost it.
Cars.
Oh, he's lost it on his own.
Then he's
just going to have to
manage
wait.
to keep it out of the other car either. That's a shame.
He's having to wait quite a while as well. There's so many cars. He's just having to sit there in the middle of the road. How frustrating is this? He's doing the right thing. And there you go, eventually. He's had to wait this entire time. Now he's going. Only then. But he did exactly the right thing there by Mark, just to keep it staying where he is. Everybody knows he's on the inside. Let everybody go. And then once everybody's passed, to continue to go. But yeah, that's massively unfortunate for him. I think Peter in the GT3 sadly caught him while he was spinning. And what's happening here with Hakon? Is this a move from Hakon, or is this going to end up in a spin for Hakon?
Oh, man. I think Hakon might have been able to pull that up together there. But the hypercar got in the way. Instant between 27 and 25. Post-race penalty 5 seconds for 27. So 27, 25, 27.
Aiden Young's crashed. He was leading, wasn't he? I don't think he was P2, wasn't he? And apparently he has crashed. He's losing time, but not
Here we
massively.
go, on
He must
screen.
have got back going.
So 27 was Wanto, 25 was the GT3 of Andy. Yeah, that's right. That's the incident we saw on screen a moment ago before this one. Oh, locked up the rears. Don't see many people doing that in the P2s anymore. And that's very much a hypercar move that he just made.
How are the altitude boys doing? So Tom Dadswell's in P2 at the moment in the hypercar. And Lars is... Where is Lars? In the GT3. He's P10. It would seem at the moment. I think that's the only two... We have Mark as well, don't we? In now he's in P8 in the LMP2s after the spin he just had. But he was doing a little bit better than that before that. But yes, that's now how they're doing. Aiden Young's gone into the pits as well. But yeah, I think that's all of the altitude drivers this week, I believe. There's racing between Sophia and Christine.
Giampolo. So Giampolo did qualify higher, and also, in our opinions, was probably quite aggressive, quite a little bit too aggressive when going for overtakes previously. So this will be really interesting to see what happens now.
Lots of pit stops happening as well, but that seems pretty, I'd say, calm. But then depends how the exit goes here. I think Sophia's done everything right. There's no way that Christine is going to try and launch it into that chicane, you would think. And they don't. Everybody stays.
Oh, very close to the back end then. All it takes is the car in front to be slightly slower, and it would be quite disastrous. Instant between 7 and 888 for post-race penalty for 888. Number 7 is Brody Maynard. 888 is...
Aliso.
Alessio, yeah. I didn't see what happened on that one. It's not on my telemetry.
Trying to think if I remember, but it's been quite a few actually this week. Quite a lot. I must admit, there's been none really of note in the first 2 rounds. So I think we're making up for lost time, it would seem, this week. Because the past 2 weeks we haven't had loads of incidents with hypercars. It's been quite well behaved, maybe 1 or 2. But this week it's It's got a bit mental, I must admit.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
a bit more than normal.
I think Al in the chat said an almost correct thing in that it's a brand new track and people aren't quite as used to it. So I very, very much doubt anyone has done a multi-class race on this track yet, like of this sort of magnitude. And especially when you've got guys in teams who are so much sort of more organised and quicker in many ways of all the others. Such huge I rating and in comparison to sort of the lower ends of the tables as well.
Yeah, the 1 week Ava's not here is the week where the classes start crashing into each other, it would assume.
Yeah,
Which is crazy. Maybe we can start blaming the fact that Ava's not here. That might be my go-to. Massively unfortunate. Paulo, by the way, passing Andy Tatman and now pulling away in P9.
Yeah, Gianpaolo obviously getting the move done on Sophia as well.
Yeah, everybody looks now like there's a bit of spread. I must admit that the undercut car of Stefan has gone up to P2 now in the GT3s after the pit stop, so he's made his headway. He's not that close to Fabio. Fabio up the road 7.5 ahead, which is still, if he wins again here, he'll be the only one to win all 3 rounds, and he is absolutely dominant in the GT3s. But Stefan, the one keeping him honest at the moment, and yeah, he's really into Phil. Normally it's Hakon the one fighting the Leo cars, but today it's Stefan. Hakon just behind, but Stefan in the undercut cars doing well.
Sorry, I thought it was leader G3. He's not. Roberto P11 in P2's just pitted.
Last of pitted. I think everybody else has pitted. Looking at everyone else, he is the last guy to pit.
Wow, there's been so much action that I actually didn't notice that everybody else had pitted.
yeah, everyone's done one pit stop. We're not even halfway, so he's maybe Roberto there as he's just pitted and we're about to get halfway. Maybe he's trying the one. I don't know. No one's really done this circuit before, so I don't think people are ready to attempt whether it's a 1 stop or a 2 yet. So Aiden Young getting caught up by Dylan van der Lans for P2 in the LMP2s, but it has calmed down a lot.
At least for now. Yes. At least for now. We're probably going to see some hypercars coming through very shortly. But if you look at the
30-second lead at the front.
Yeah, look at the track map though as well. It's
spread.
Yeah, it's very spread out. I realise I haven't given you guys interval times for 30 minutes. I really do apologise.
Yeah, I see. I noticed about 5 minutes into the race, and then I changed mine on my screen, and just because I can see your screen, but I'm using it in a different way to the intervals. I didn't even realise that yours hasn't changed. I noticed it at the 5 minutes and then forgot to mention it to you. But so I've had the intervals.
So got a crash here from Mark Hutchinson.
He is going again now. Let's have a little look at what he does then. Is he going to be on the rear brakes again? Because he did one earlier, didn't he? On this exact corner. It's smoking, it's smoking. He's right on the limit, isn't he? He's right on the limit of his brakes, it would seem.
Yeah, I think he just broke maybe like...
Oh, someone's sped off the road. I don't know who it is because it's happened
was it
as I'm sort of here.
Connor Gibb, I think it was. Was it this guy?
Back on now. He's racing pretty fast and he's behind.
Okay, saved that.
Right.
I know that Sophia was just passed, so I don't know what happened there.
Maybe it was...
Oh, that was in the pits.
So Sophia's in the pits. I don't know. It was coming out of turn 2 anyway. There was a car. Well, there was white smoke as in a car's gone off, but I can't find anyone's gone off apparently. So
now I'm wondering, can Sophia make it to the end? Because she just pitted at the 31-minute mark.
Yeah, she's going to the end, isn't she?
Yeah.
Because we said that she went in the pits earlier at a random time. Maybe she put a bit of fuel in then. Yeah, she'll get to the end there. That's interesting. See how that one plays out for her. What position is she at the moment? P6 in class.
Yeah, P6.
Christini's just pitted as well.
Yeah, I think her race has just mainly been damage control from the beginning there, which we still don't know what happened. Obviously, Gianpaolo being the quick boy at the minute is quickly coming up to the back of his teammates yet again.
Oh, Aliso has. Oh, sorry, Andre has gone off in the hypercar and he's had a big crash. Actually, let's have a look at this one. I'll show you on the small screen. The amount of damage he's got in the pit lane makes me think he's had a bigger incident. Here, let's see. Oh, it's a ball. He's caught the big curb. Bang! There's the wall. The front off.
Front on as
Oh,
well, yeah.
wow! It's big.
So that's a lost position. That's going to have to be a long
He's
repair
done his
time.
engine in. He's definitely already done a quick repair as well. He's already done a quick repair from the incidents before. Definitely,
yeah, of course they would have done a quick repair. You know, we saw those incidents previously. It looks like he's also just got out of the car.
Yeah, that. Not surprising to me. That would be definitely somewhat race over for him.
Which does give a position to all of the hypercar class now. So more points for later on in the season.
Aliso Bernardi is now actually a 10th behind Tom Dadswell for P2 in the hypercars. And they're just passing a couple of LMP2s, which I think has just broke up the battle a little bit for now. But the race is on for P2 in the hypercars again. Dadswell just driving away for now, trying to get away from that battle as Sophia goes up past one of the GT3s as Aliso goes in the pits from P3 in the hypercar, so we're going to the end as well. So Andrea are out, so we're only going to have 6 finishes in the end in the hypercars. Would seem at the moment. You never know how this one goes. Sadly, Kevin not being able to start after. Well, I think his PC has died, I believe, which has put him out of this race. One of the GT3s there in the pits. It's Peter in the pits of the Hellas Sim esports team. A little bit close, but the closest battle on track at the moment is between Hakon and Gutierrez, P5 in the GT3 class. It's the closest on track. Actual full position battle.
So while these guys are a bit spread out, actually, I just posted a message in the Discord, but it's something I kind of want to talk about on stream as well. And it's just the method that the stewards use to judge these sort of incidents. Obviously, on the surface, might seem a little bit illogical to most people, but there is pure logic beneath it. And when looking at an incident, the stewards will always look at what caused the incident rather than what the outcome of the incident was. This is because the cause of the incident can be the same thing whilst having many different outcomes. For example, you could gently touch the car in front of you, causing it to spin out, but not get damaged. Or you could gently touch the car in front of you, causing it to spin out straight into a wall. The incident itself was the same, but the outcome was different. Therefore, the offending driver took the same actions and should only be punished for the actions that they took, and not the outcome of them. Which I think is very, very understandable.
Yeah, it's interesting. As we've had it a few times now in the TCR series, there are a few times where an incident's happened between a driver, and the driver actually that is deemed at fault has ended up spinning. It's their fault they spun. You would think the punishment is enough for spinning, but no, if they spun, so at the end of the day, you would think they've already been punished. But the rules say that it was their fault, so they should get one rather than the actual driver that didn't. So it all depends, but it's the you have to look at the rule book through what it says rather than what you see actually happen.
Yeah.
For example, of the outcomes, you say like if they spun or it doesn't matter exactly how, because every incident is different and unique, but the rules have to be applied.
Yeah,
with the same book.
Looking for real world examples, I believe F1 is very much stewarded in a very similar way.
Yes, it is. It definitely is now. They've got a rule book that they've put in place, and they're sticking to it. Even with the the incident in Brazil, where it was a bit like, are you sure that's a penalty? But they say it is, and that's apparently now how the rules work. That one I would be a bit more of the two of the incidents actually in Brazil was a bit I completely disagree with, but that's how their rule book is. The Norris one and the Verstappen one, both of the incidents, how I saw them, turned out not to be the way they're now in the rules. which is interesting to me because I would have thought that the race against the one with Lando and Leclerc would have been a racing incident,
Yes.
but it wasn't.
Yes.
And the one with Max and Hamilton would have been either Hamilton or nothing, but somehow it was Max. And I was a bit like, oh, okay, how? But they've got their rules in place now, and they are sticking to them.
We've got a bit of an issue here with Alessio Bernardini, P4 for the LMDH, or hypercar. Go take a look at that on screen. Apparently had a bit of a crash, 4 seconds off track.
He was doing 20 miles an hour at one point? Let's see how he gets there.
Oh,
he's going to miss his brakes, isn't he? Whee!
I mean, very much well done for keeping out of the back of that car.
Yeah,
very much well avoided there. But totally missed the braking point. Or, I think he might have got spooked by the car in front.
Yeah, maybe they braked a little bit earlier than he was expecting. Yeah, he can't heavily brake in those cars. It just flies off the road.
No, I was definitely struggling to drive. I drove a few Watkins Glen races in them, and in their first week of being released, and that very penultimate turn, the uphill hairpin, it does not like going uphill while braking because you just lose all downforce and it spins out everywhere. So yeah, absolutely difficult cars to drive, I think, in my opinion.
Mark Hutchinson's got off, and I can see his miles an hour falling down and continuing to fall down and continue to fall down.
Give us on the little screen.
Has he looped it round? Let's have a little look. I think he's managed to keep in the right direction. Oh, hey, doesn't look great when it's free wide into turn one. Crikey, how have they got out of that? He's on the grass, he's on the gravel. This is why his speedo was going up and down, because eventually he got back to the road. All of that's downhill. That was... yeah, they've all got out of that one cleanly, so well done all of them, but...
I think all three of them are going to have to change their trousers for that one.
Yeah, Mark needs a new set of tyres as well for him, after destroying those ones. Yeah, not what you want at all. Closest battle is the one there with Aiden Young and Dylan for P2. And
Roberto has just crashed as well. Don't know where he is. Oh, okay, 11th position of the P2. Do you want to drop that on a little screen for me?
I will grab that for you now.
There he is, Roberto on the little screen, whilst we're still keeping an eye on Aiden Young.
What's he doing here?
On the big screen.
Does he just loop it in the brakes, maybe, or is it mid-corner? Oh, he's just going to come to a stop.
Oh. Oh.
He's just coming... Oh, and then he reverses?
Oh.
I feel like something might be wrong with some setting somewhere. He just gets back going, actually, afterwards. Does he continue?
I wonder if he realised he missed his braking point and just didn't try to turn.
He's got back going slowly. He is going very slowly, actually.
Pedal issue, maybe?
Oh, maybe, because he's going very slowly and being very cautious at all the corners and getting out of... So something's up.
Yeah, and on the
I wonder if he's...
big screen right now, we can see Dylan Vanderlaan is trying to chase down Aiden Young, and he has been for quite a little while now.
He's going very slowly. So apparently, is that... I don't know what's going on there. Hakon's apparently gone off the road. I think he's... Yeah, so something, I think... Matteo said something about a 15 minutes worth of the repair and took nothing, which Roberto has gone back and into the pits now. And that was Hakon going off the road. He has got back on the road fine, though.
Yeah, Hakon seems to have been having a bit of a race where he's trying to dodge everything he can and just do as best he can. Cause
just try to survive.
Yeah, Hakon is usually within sort of the top between 3 to 5 sort of thing. So I think he's just trying to stay safe and hope that things happen to the guys ahead of him. Or
yeah, I don't blame him for this one.
Just moved to him as he was jumping over a sausage curve.
Oh no! I thought no, I haven't. The camera changed as I was like watching, and no, Paulo's passed one of the GT3s in the last chicane, which has actually slowed him down, which will give Alessandro a chance at trying to pass Stefan for P2 in the GT3. Stefan actually flashing his lights at Paulo, a bit annoyed that he passed him there. But
yeah, sorry, it took me a while to find the driver then. Here we are.
Nothing changed, but yeah, it's put him right on the back foot. So
this could be the fight to watch now. This is for the lead of GT3s.
It's P2. Oh, good God! You didn't see that from my camera shot.
What just happened?
Oh, well, I don't know if Hakon's apparently gone off again. By the way, I don't know if he's back on the road. He's doing hundreds of miles an hour, so he should be fine.
If
I
you,
don't know
if
if
you
I can
could get whatever you just saw on the little screen, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to, which is a shame. Can I? Don't think I can.
Flick the driver, hit reverse. Hit rewind on the replay.
Alright, let's see if I can then.
Just let me know when to bring it on.
It gets very hairy, which you didn't see, which is crazy, but I saw your camera, which is slightly different to mine. Now it's a case of if I can get the right camera to show how crazy this actually is. Oh yes, right, okay, you can bring it to me now.
Yep, we're on.
This is what I saw. You can't. Oh, it's lagged sadly but the hypercar went straight through the middle of the two of them, and on my view, it looked like a lot closer than it was.
Yeah, it was very small on our screen, but just only see it.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than actually. Alysso has crashed.
Yeah,
apparently.
I'm just gonna go to that right now. I just saw that on my telemetry. So that is in P4 for hypercar right now. Most of the hypercars now back in their group.
His brake?
Yeah, too hard on the brakes. I think he was trying to outbrake the GT3 and just didn't quite manage it, I don't think. But got moving quick enough that Giampolo's not going to catch him behind, I think. Obviously, Sophia has finally overtaken all the LMP2s. I think Andrea Frasinetti, the other hypercar, is sitting out. Yes, they got out the car, didn't they? So we're left with 6 hypercars. We're down to 11 GT3s, I believe.
Yep, 11 GT3s. We've only lost one of those. We've lost 3 LMP2s.
Yes, that's right. So down to 11 LMP2s as well.
The GT3s are now entering the pits for the second and last time. So the middle of this race has gone pretty quick as well, to be fair.
Yeah, 15 minutes left of the race.
Yeah, it was crazy in the first 15, I must admit. It was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I wonder if we hit a critical point of having few enough cars on track that it isn't causing so much of an issue. So, like, you know, we've lost... How many drivers have we lost? We've lost...
5.
Yeah, 5 drivers, and perhaps there's a critical mass sort of thing when it comes to the amount of drivers on track this size.
So in the chat, almost the team boss telling one of the spotters to tell one of the drivers to hurry up, which is Tom in P2 at the moment. P2 in hypercar survived just about in 35 seconds off front, but being told to hurry up by his team boss. As Lorenzo does pit as well. So, it's still a race for P2 in
I didn't see what his pit lap was. I know that Tom pitted slightly early before. He pitted on lap 16, which I believe was the earliest. Oh no, so he was like the second earliest of all the drivers.
Yeah, it starts to get confusing again as everyone now starts to pit again. Pit for the second and last time. We think Sophia is going to the end. I think Christini is probably going to try and go to the end as well, if I'm not wrong. Those cars will go to the end. I think all the LMP2s will probably... Yeah, looking at it, everybody all pitted once. I think they all have to pit again. Be surprised if they all make it to the end. It's quite close for the GT3s. I expect some of them to be pitting...
Got a crash ban, Salmon. P10 LMP2. And I think we've got a fight brewing here.
We've got a couple of Brody's had a crash as well.
Yeah.
And what's on your
I think the LMP2 got in the way there of those two GT3s. Those two GT3s are going to be the one to watch now, because that is for the lead of the GT3s.
Yeah. They've got to pit again, I think. Because Fabio pitted about 2 laps ago now. So I'm surprised they haven't pitted yet. As Hakon's actually racing Luigi. No, he's not racing Luigi. He's racing Fabio. Fabio's just past Hakon, so that's where he is at the hairpin. So he's just got into P4. So I think these two have got a pit that we're watching. I'd like to think the LMP2 battle for P2 is actually is racing quite close, and they're trying to pass Hakon and Fabio actually right now. So they're slowing Fabio up a little bit too. So and there's some hypercars getting involved as well. It's getting a little busy again, as Tom does well pits from P2, but they're all seeming to make it through cleanly. I'll be expecting these 2 cars to pit this lap. Well, one does.
One does, which gives Alessandro the lead now of GT3. Whether he can absolutely pull a blinder of a lap and keep it is the question. It'd be nice to see them both come out side by side. But now, while we're waiting for Alessandro to give us his lap, let's go take a look at what happened to Andy Tapman. And potentially Brody as well.
See what happened to them. Wessel's apparently crashed as well from LMP.
Yeah, I saw that.
What is Andy just going to lock the brakes? There we go.
Yeah, I kept it straight though. Well done for holding the brakes. Let's go over to Brody, see what happens here. And then we'll take a look at Wessel straight after as well. It's going to be the hairpin thing again, isn't it? Yeah, he just went straight.
Yeah, he's just very deep.
Yeah, Wessel.
Does he do the same thing? I'm wondering.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting used to this one location now, aren't we?
Oh, is it this chicane? This could be a heavy one if he crashes here.
There it is.
It's at the annoying corner, and it's looped round, and yeah.
So driven back on with Alessandro as he's coming to near the end of the lap, I think. Yeah, we're going to see if he's going to get it into the pits this time or not. He didn't go pit. He didn't go to the pit. So he's now just trying to put as much time between him and Stefan as possible.
Yeah, well, Stefan's not too far behind Luigi pits, though.
Yeah, Luigi
V2,
pits,
so.
and that's now dangerous, because that could be Luigi trying to pull an undercut on Alessandro in front of him. It all depends on how good Alessandro's next laps are.
Happening here, in a way. Stefan is only 3 seconds behind Fabio as well for the lead. Well, technically not lead. It was second on track, but lead overall. But so he did close up to Fabio after in the pit stops. I'd say it's getting interesting now in the second pit stop phase. A few things are happening.
Yeah, it's difficult to know what to look at.
Brody's apparently had a crash.
Yeah, I did just see him drop a position, I think. Yeah, because that's Alessio there who overtook him.
Does he find the wall, or does he keep it out there nicely?
He keeps it out. Oh, careful.
Oh, God. That was Rui. There's James.
Yeah,
got right in front of the battle for P2 and the LMP2s.
Got to watch it when you come back on track. Oh, wow. Those rear tyres are shot.
Aiden Young pits from P2 and the LMP2s.
Has James Ebram pitted yet? That's the question. He has not. Actually, the top 3 of P2s have not pitted yet, so Aiden's going for an undercut here. This will be really interesting to see if he can make it. Oh, I'm still on replay mode. I do really apologise. Don't know how long I'm on replay mode for.
Pits.
So, Aiden Young dropping back. He's now on the pit exit. For the important one.
I'm going to
go on.
I'm going to go on board. I was going to go on board with James. Just,
There you go.
If you want to put that up, I'd say this, Caro. Have a little on board of the circuit while James tries to chase.
So,
well, no, I'm not on board with James. That's Dylan. This is James. Now you can see Dylan.
yep. So you're watching James Ebram on the big screen, and I see. Did you say on board with James on the little screen?
Chasing down. Less than a second. Look at the big curb up there. Big crashes so far today. It's just a silly corner, bit of a curb. Two silly corners really to end the lap up, isn't it? Down here is another one. Clumsy corner. Track seems to. I do think the track flows well. Does he go to the pits, James? No, it stays on. Big curbs.
Got a crash from Brody. Again.
Can't get out of the way there. I think that was Andy.
Take a look at what's going on with Brody.
Not having a good time with it, is he?
No, I think it was a hypercar that messed him up.
Cool.
Oh, maybe not, actually, maybe not. Oh, he hit the sausage curb too hard. He lost his rears again.
Man.
I think he needs some new rear tyres, not going to lie.
Does seem that way, yeah. He's not having the best time with them.
Yeah.
It does seem like a very nice circuit, this. Bit bumpy. Up and down. Fabio, by the way, Alessandro pitted in the GT3 class. He has passed Stefan. He's only 7 tenths behind Fabio.
I did just notice that. And James is still yet to pit, isn't he?
Yeah, James is, and so is Dylan, and so is Benjamin from the lead. So top 3 in LMP2 still haven't pitted with 6 to go.
That's really, really risky, I think. Especially since Aiden can now go to the end.
Lots of unders there. Yeah, you can hear it from the onboard.
And what's pit time looking like? So
Aiden's was 28 in the pit lane, 11 in the box.
Your pit lane time is.
They're going to go in now.
There
They're
we
in.
go. Right, I'm going to drop onto Aiden. If you stay on with those guys in the pits, we'll see what can happen here.
Benjamin's just left as these two have just stopped. I stay there being for, how long was Benjamin in? 8 seconds. They should be going now. They are 6 and 7 seconds.
Aiden's just about coming up to the final corner, I believe.
These guys are out of the pit lane now.
Come on, Aiden. You can push it a bit harder than that. I reckon they're going to come out maybe side by side.
No, he's well ahead. They'll be well ahead.
Oh, wow, yeah. Didn't quite make that work.
It's unlucky for him. Oh, that's not the onboard I wanted. That's looking back at Alessandro.
Yeah, Aiden did make time up though, so he is closer to them now than he was previously, like previous pit stops.
No, he was ahead. He was ahead of Dylan in one of them.
Are you sure?
Yeah, fully.
Ah.
At one point in this race, it was.
No,
he was P2.
I mean from the previous pit, from his pit stop, he's now closer to them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
This is the race for the lead in the GT3s. Fabio versus Alessandro. 2 tenths.
Good
with
shout.
5 minutes to go. This is the closest it's been for a GT3 win all season.
See that Ferrari just bounce over those sausage curbs, and that was incredible.
It's definitely the closest victory for class today. Everybody else is, 33 seconds and 7 seconds. This is less than a second.
So who are we seeing in the small screen right now?
We are seeing Alessandro.
Okay, and we're watching both of them on the big screen from external as well. So Alessandro is the car behind, of course. And we're going to see if Alessandro can make this move.
Do they have anyone coming up behind him to intervene?
And yeah, it is Leo versus Leo, asks Mark Fletcher in the chat.
Yeah, they do have a LMP2, two LMP2. They have a LMP2 going to come up soon on them, but that's about it. I don't think they might do this. I think they might have the next 4 minutes to themselves, so this could be a good end to the race between these two.
Well, they're very, very matched on pace. Like, both of them did a 1:36.8 previous lap, with only 8 thousandths between them.
There goes the LMP2. Nice and clean. Good that's not going to get involved. Do you launch up the inside? Yes, you do!
Oh, I mean, with only 8 thousandths between them, I don't see why a launch up the inside wouldn't work.
Well, he hasn't done it, though. Oh, that's extremely close. Didn't able to get through.
I'm wondering there if the Audi's slightly quicker on the corner exit. Because I think that this is a moment where we're going to see, two drivers both incredibly similar in terms of pace. This is where the car choice will come into it.
Yeah, rule number 1, don't take out your teammate. Well, we've seen the other Leos not stick to that rule so far today.
Yeah, look back at the first 15 minutes of this race, you'll see all 3 Leos of the hypercars coming all together.
Will the GT3s follow suit? If the car behind them isn't involved in their team, that's Stefan in the undercar car. He's sitting there thinking, go on, guys. Race it out. I'm fine with that. Just a bit behind. 2 minutes to go. What are they going to have? 2 more laps, do we reckon?
Yeah, just about.
Well, they've got a hypercar of Sophia involved now. She's a bit past the roundabout now.
Yeah, main straight hypercar should make it easy. And they kept well out of the way. Practically off track.
They are, yeah. Fully off the track.
I reckon that was Fabio trying to break the toe there a little bit as well, I think. Maybe he thought that his teammate behind him didn't want an extra off track on his record.
Oh, there's got a bunch of LMP2s going to get involved in them soon, so...
Yeah, this isn't going to be good for that little fight, and he's going for it again.
He's defending. Oh, he's thinking he's a bit late this time. No.
A bit too late.
On the exit, though, the LMP2's got a slow exit. Does it hold him up? No, doesn't change anything. And Tapman's had a crash.
Yeah, do you want to look at that in your little screen while we keep an eye on these guys in front?
Go have a look at what Andy Tapman did.
P2's really getting in the way of this fight now, and a hypercar. That's really unfortunate. 34 seconds of the race left to go. And the
Lorenzo just crossed the line.
Oh, and hypercars and P2s seem to have ruined this little fight for them.
It definitely has. So they got another lap because Lorenzo just got across the line, so they have one more.
Yeah, it's 14 seconds, 10 seconds left until the end of the race.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But, well, it's not unfortunate for Fabio. He'll be very happy that the LMP2s have got involved here. James is on the back of Dylan for... Oh, that's a curb. For second place in the LMP2s. We're on to the final lap of the race. And I don't think he's going to be able to make that move again, isn't he? He's not going to have enough time to get back on it.
No, too far back. We've got Dylan van der Land's about to do something. Or James Ebram about to do something. My apologies.
But it's side by side there, aren't they? For Dylan is still ahead of James, but not by much. They're almost pushing each other up the hill. They're a little bit further on the lap. I think they're on the last lap already. I feel like he's got the cutback on him there, hasn't he?
He has.
He's alongside.
He's just
leader
in front.
Should be coming to the end.
Neck and neck. Oh, wow. On the inside of that corner, definitely. And he gets it. Is this going to be... Is this final lap? If he overtook in the penultimate corner...
It is. It is. The leaders just crossed the line. That's it for them.
They haven't got the checkered flag next to their name. Which means they've got one more lap to go, I think.
Oh, Aiden's finished behind them, so yeah, they've got one more.
Yeah, so Aiden was the first to finish because of the timer. Whoa, that was unlucky, and I think maybe Dylan held off because he thought it might have been the last lap. So we've only got one hypercar finish yet. Still waiting for Tom. There we go. Tom's just come across the line. 30 seconds behind. And Wanto's going to come along.
Going to go Fabio's way in the GT3s. They're coming to the last corner now.
Yeah, they are...
Oh, no, spinning! Alessandro Silly spun! Oh, he saved it. Lovely save. But here's take P2. I think... Oh, no, one of the hypercars that was P3 has crashed on the last lap.
Really?
Yeah, he's now in P4. Juan has crashed on the last lap. There he is. He's in P3 on the screens now.
He's done so well.
He's going to drop it and lose P3 right at the end. Oh, he's not. He doesn't drop it.
That's a conspiracy right there. Oh, you got a feel for Wanto there, man. He didn't do great in qualifying, but he was going to be P3.
Well, that one will go to the stewards. James will cross the line ahead of Dylan for P2. Benjamin wins the LMP2, takes the win the first time this season.
And that's where the penalty system will come along, and people will say it's pretty unfortunate because, general rule of thumb for a little tap that causes that sort of thing is 5 seconds, and he did finish a little too far away to be within the 5 seconds, I think, there.
Yeah. Crazy. Lorenzo takes his second win of the season and back-to-back wins. Tom takes P2, and he'll probably be happy with that. So in the end, does get P3. Benjamin takes P1 in the LMP2s, but it is crazy end to this race.
That was absolutely brutal.
I don't think there's any real donuts going on, sadly, today. So I don't know how I'm going to get these pictures of the celebration because Fabio doesn't seem to be celebrating, and Lorenzo I don't think celebrated either. Benjamin's doing a slow lap to the pit, so I think he hasn't got any fuel to be on. But actually, when I went on board with Benjamin, don't hear anything. So yeah, it doesn't look like they have any fuel to do donuts, which is a sad stage. Someone's doing donuts. To be fair, Tom is doing donuts.
Just came through Alessio Bernardini, 5 seconds for that final corner.
Somebody is doing donuts. Oh, it was Robin was doing donuts on the French driver on the French flag doing donuts, which is nice of him. The French driver of Benjamin won as well for the LMP2s on the French circuit. So that's what you want to see. James Ingram gets P2. Howard Dillon, very close. Eddie Young gets P4. Good finish for him. Robin will be happy with a P5. Wurzel takes P6. Connor in P7. Mark, not the best day in the office after winning last week, takes P8. Paulo takes P9 and P10 for Andy. And Roberto gets P11 in the LMP2 class.
Whoa! 1 second. Wanto Oval is P3 in there.
You're very right, he is.
What has happened there?
He is. You're 100% right. He is on that screen, and that would be penalty points, and it was Aliso that got third, so Aliso's dropped down to fifth, and he's another 20 seconds back. So unless he got a penalty in game for too many points, or maybe got a 4x for the incident, and that may have. We saw it last week with James Ibram. He won the LMP2 class, but then he didn't on the track because of a contact, and he got too many points in his. Yeah, so that might be how it's happened.
Yeah,
so
I just asked race control. Alessio's incident count was 28. So he did get dropped back. Wow, that is almost karma there, actually. Not that I like to say it like that, but for the hit on Wanto, he gains an extra drive-through.
Yeah, and that puts
given to him by the game. That wasn't stewards, that wasn't race control. He gained a drive-through for the extra incident that when he hit Wanto. So I think Wanto would be fairly pleased to see that.
Yeah, he does get the podium.
He does get the podium after all. Yeah.
Absolutely crazy racing there. So well done to him for getting that. Christina gets P4. Mental, actually. Very mental. Sophia in the end got P6. I don't know if he quite had the pace in the car.
There was that issue at the beginning.
Did she pit again? She did pit again as well, I think. So
you know what? I'm going to drop a message in the chat. See if she can answer the why.
Yeah, I think she ended up pinning again. So I'm not sure exactly what had gone wrong. Something definitely went wrong at the start. Not as bad as Kevin's day. Kevin didn't even get to start the race. That's how bad it went.
Yeah, his PC died apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's take a look. Where did James finish? Because he wanted an interview with us. James finished P2. Let's
P2.
Let's drag him down here, shall we? Let's have a chat. All yours.
Oh, let's force him to talk, shall we? Oh, well, exciting end to the race for you, James. You managed to get P2. Well, we thought it was on the final lap of the final couple of corners, but you had another lap to go in the end. Did you realise you had another lap to go?
I realised that Lorenzo was probably backing off. Or maybe was it Lorenzo? I can't remember.
No,
Who was it?
it was Dylan Vanderlands, I believe.
He's in the same class as me. I can't
He means
remember.
he means the hypercar.
Lorenzo
Oh.
Castellani. Yeah. He
Yeah.
backed off at the to basically watch, I guess. So he didn't overtake us, which meant we had another lap to complete, which I just had enough fuel for. Had to save quite a bit on the last few turns. But yeah, no, that was an awesome battle to get P2. Super pleased with how I did it as well.
Yeah, it was a chaotic race, I must admit. I'm not sure how much you realise it was chaotic. How was your first 15 minutes of that race? Because for us, it was crazy.
First 15. Apart from maybe, well, I guess, yeah, for myself, it was probably quite quiet. I don't know.
Then, what I'd recommend doing, as after we finished up here, is go back to the stream and just take a look at the first 15 minutes of everything that happened. It was brutal.
I have seen the Leo stack up and wipe out already.
Yeah.
Because I was curious as to why there were only 4 cars ahead of me at one point, 4 LMDHs at one point, and then some of them filtered back through. So as soon as the race ended, I went back and watched.
Yeah, it was. So you're probably the only driver here that had a boring first 15 minutes of the race, which was quite extraordinary, to be honest. But probably a better result than last time after all the incident points. Were you watching that this week? Were you making sure that everything was okay?
I will tell you in a second. How many did I get? I got 11. So yeah, I guess maybe it was a bit more cautious, but it's probably easier to avoid them here in terms of off tracks, at least. I think I only had one bit of contact, and that was actually with Dylan when I spun myself on the curbs of the chicane.
Trying to figure back if I can remember that. There's been so much has gone on during this race, but it's P2 in the end. Not a bad result for the championship wise. I think it puts you in a nice, good position as Benjamin took the win. He wasn't here last week, so it's probably good to get a win and get a second and beat Dylan there, gain a few more points. And Mark not having the best of races in P8, so probably a good day for you at the office.
Yeah, no, I'm pleased with that. I think Benjamin did a great job and sort of just ran away with it. I could have, if I hadn't have spun, I think he won by 4 seconds from me. So if I hadn't have spun, I might have been there. But ifs and buts, doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, that's where I finished. Is where I finished. But I think he did a really good job. He just had good pace, just kept everything controlled and ran his race well. So I think he deserves his win. And I'm very pleased I could sort of mop up the first of the losers, as it were.
Well, this week we got the Daytona, completely different circuit. This one, does that suit you better than here, or?
I don't like Daytona, so I never have good results at Daytona. It's always, yeah. So I mean, this was the first race in LMP2 that I actually did around here. The practice I didn't do any practice until the session opened. I did some in Ferrari Fix last week, so I did at least learn the track, but this was my sort of first in LMP2. I'm sort of still learning it, so I think for considering, I'm finishing second, I think that's good. Daytona, I've done hundreds of laps on, and I've not got any better, so we'll see.
Well, congratulations on your P2. Good luck next week at Daytona. Hopefully, you finally figure out how to get quick round now after 100 laps. Let's see how long it takes you. But an hour's worth of racing next week. So
yep,
good luck
absolutely.
there.
Yep, cheers, guys. We'll enjoy looking at the stream again this evening.
Yeah, have fun with the first 15 minutes of that one. It's probably the longest 15 minutes of my life because I thought we'd been going for 40 minutes by the end of that. It was a lot.
How's your voice?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. My voice is fine. It's just trying to work out what actually happened, and I can't even remember half of it.
Deserve a
So
long nap afterwards for sure.
I'm gonna go have a good lay down. I'm gonna dream about hypercars. I think no, or just have nightmares about them. But
I was gonna say, are they not more like nightmares?
yeah, they're probably yeah. I don't think I'm gonna get in a GT3 car anytime soon. Just to watch my mirrors. All right, then, thank you very much, James.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
So we did get some word from Sophia about the why she pitted so early. It was actually a tactical pit.
Oh, okay.
She pitted to avoid traffic and then carry on racing, but she got a 40-second stop and hold, probably for speeding. And
Right.
that is a really horrible way to start a race. The strategy could have gone really, really well, especially considering where she ended up at the end. Obviously you can't really calculate it, but if we were to take a look at where she finished and take 40 seconds off it, there's no number on there, so we can't exactly. But yeah, it might have worked out a lot better. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, it might have. There was a lot going on in that race, so yeah, you never know what could have changed. Anything really? Yeah, I'll see what happens next week. I'm not sure if it was an interesting tactic. Maybe it might work. I wonder if it will work at Daytona today. Bit more of a easier track for multiclass. We'll see if Eddie. I think it'll be a lot calmer. Hopefully next week. To note, I think everyone's a lot more experienced around Daytona now with I think the 24 hours or whatever happening. I think this week or next. So I think a lot of people have a lot of practice under their belt too. So yeah, I think that we have a very different environment next week compared to here. I'd say it's a very different circuit, and everybody's way more aware of it than I say Magny-Cours.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, hopefully next week the 15 minutes of chaos doesn't happen quite the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, you can also make sure to turn to touring cars on Tuesdays. We'll do our usual streams Tuesdays and Thursdays now. That's touring cars and IMSA. If you enjoyed the race, feel free to drop us a subscribe, because most of you are not doing that, and it would be very, very helpful if you did. Along with that, go look at our Instagram. Wes puts absolutely fantastic content up there most days. It's pretty incredible. And obviously throughout the race you've seen our many affiliates down the bottom of the screen. You've got Rogue NG, Majors Garage, and Digital Motorsports, all of which you can find the links to those in the description. And if you get anything from them, it would help us out a lot, because everything we make gets put straight back into races and prizes. Other than that, thank you, Wes, for chilling with me today and doing the stream. It's been really chill, apart from the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And other than that, we'll see you guys next time.